to episode 179? 77. You said 79. Of Anime House. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of.
Alright, guys. I picked a Yu-Gi-Oh! Last episode. Yu-Gi-Oh! I think a direct translation is Game King. I'm not really sure. It just says Game King. Anyway, is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Kazuki Takahashi. Serialized in Shueisha, blah, blah, blah. Between 1996 and 2004. They made it into an anime, obviously. They aired from April 4th, 98 to October 10th, 98 with 27 episodes. But Netflix had a boatload of episodes. It had way more than 27.
Yeah, now there's hundreds of episodes. Maybe that... I don't know what that
Maybe
is.
that's just the first block of episodes or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, obviously there's a bunch of other seasons.
If it was 27
movies.
If it was 27 episodes, we would have watched the 27 episodes.
Oh wait, anime television series Duel Monsters, which is what we watched.
There you go. I think that was maybe the Japanese
224 episodes.
There, that's what it is.
Maybe that was just, and that was 2000 to 2004. The anime quote unquote television series was 98, only 27 episodes. So I wonder if this was like the first run.
I think,
and like maybe they got other seasons approved and that's what's on Netflix.
I heard there was a season before the one we watched, but I think it was only sub.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a Japanese only thing. So as he's looking at it right now.
It looks like the first episode of that 98 anime is the first episode of what we watched.
Right.
I'm thinking what it was is like they got those episodes cleared, they made it, and then popularity built up, and you know, either remade it or just continued on it. And when they branded it for America, they said Duel Monsters, and there's just more episodes because they were
right.
Whatever,
yeah.
Who cares? Again, bunch of movies, bunch of physical seasons. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is honestly not in some of the newer ones.
No,
I don't think he's in it at all. I think it's just the card game with some other
characters. Yes, clearly a card game.
Video games, yeah. You know, we'll get right into it, I guess. This, I think, is the only anime I've ever seen with a card game as the central core aspect. So, like, obviously there's a card game that we played as kids, or collected cards or whatever. But, like, for instance, Pokemon is just an anime.
Right, yeah.
And then they made a card game and it was wildly successful, more successful than Yu-Gi-Oh! But, like, this is like the card game is the show.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's weird.
Yeah, I think it kind of started a trend, too, because then there was stuff like Beyblade that was around Tops and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like...
I wonder which was first.
I'm pretty sure it was Yu-Gi-Oh!
I think so.
Yeah.
98 isn't... Oh, that's pretty...
98 was just off the heels of Pokemon, because Pokemon was 96?
Beyblade Wiki. Let's see what happened. 99. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was probably just at that time, Pokemon's popular. Oh,
this is working. Yeah. All right, let me come up with a good idea.
Yeah, what other toys can we turn into things?
Do you remember Metabots?
Yes, I remember.
Oh my god. Monster Rancher?
Yep. Monster Rancher is actually a video game, though.
Yeah, when they made it into an anime or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember watching it. It was fun.
Yeah, Monster Rancher was... I think it was NES and Super NES was Monster Rancher, though.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, back to you. How many episodes did we watch?
I watched 13.
I watched 13 because you told me 13, and I was on like 9, so I was like, all right, got like 4 more.
Yeah. I watched 13. So, I guess the show's nostalgic to both of us.
Yes. But my god, is it slowly paced.
But
it may make it so it to a 8-year-old kid on Saturday morning, it doesn't feel slowly paced.
No.
It's like, oh my god, there's a battle every episode.
Yes. And it is repetitive as hell.
Oh.
Like, if I had to hear one more time about the heart of the cards, friendship or honor.
And they spin their wheels about the same thing over and over again.
And they keep repeating it
They're
over
clearly
and over.
just buying time to make this a whole episode.
With that being said, though, it's not bad.
For its target audience,
yes.
And in the year it came out, yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, like,
right?
I watched 13 episodes, so it's like, normally we give up at like 4 or something like that, so I wanted to watch more of it, but after 13 episodes, you kind of get the gist of the show.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, because you get a couple battles at Yugi, a couple battles at Joey, you get all those backstories and stuff like that, and then where we left off, he fought Bakura, and so we got the whole Shadow games.
You know his name? I don't know his name.
I know all their names.
I know Kaiba. I know Yugi. What's the blonde hair with the guy with the hair? His best friend?
Joey. His friends are Tristan and Taya.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Eyes Pegasus.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's because I've watched this shit.
I watched it as a kid too, but not as much.
Yeah, but my memory is better than yours too.
Okay,
it is. You know it is.
With certain things, maybe. With certain things, maybe not.
I'll give you numbers. You remember the number of the episode every week. Well, almost.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't. That's the only thing I'm bad at.
Anyway, it's not bad. It's not really a shonen. Because it's a card game.
And it's an inconsistent card game. Like, the rules aren't, like, from battle to battle, they differ.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, oh, okay, now...
Well, it depends on what kind of game's being played. Like, if you're doing the Shadow Realm, well, that's different than a regular card game amongst buddies, which is different than a tournament, which is different than the island they're on. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but, like, what I mean is... Like, cards have different effects depending...
Yeah, like the Time Wizard thing with the dragon, like, it all of a sudden has a different effect on it, even though it's not written on the card. Yeah. Like, the card just shows a picture, attack and defense points with stars. Yes. Like, how do you know that it does these things?
Yeah, and the rules just change depending on what they need for the plot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
Which brings me to the core of my main issue with the show, and this was an issue I had as a child that I didn't remember I had an issue as a child until we started watching it. So, we had cards, and we, you know... I'm sure you dabbled in playing once or twice. I played a bit.
I played a bunch, actually.
I played a little bit. So, this core issue that I have is that the rules for the game that we played are wildly different than the rules in the show. Cards can do all kinds of things in the show that cannot be done in the game.
Right.
And that pissed me off as a kid.
Yes. To be fair to the show, though, the show, I think, was released before the card game.
Then the card game needs to be tailored to fit.
Yeah, I know. But I think the card game and the show were made at the same time because it was like a multimedia project they were releasing there. But I think the show released without conjunction with the card game. Mm-hmm. And then, because as the show goes on, they incorporate different rules and stuff like that the actual card game has. If I remember correctly from...
Probably.
So, but... It never quite matches up because it's just not plot.
I get it. I understand why you're doing it, but I hate it.
Like, for instance, I remember he battled this one guy who uses the Castle of Dark Illusions, was Dark and Soul Field, and the castle's in the ceiling, and it got monsters underneath, trapped behind a barrier. And then Yugi, like, hits the castle, right? Mm-hmm. But doesn't destroy the castle. It just destroys the floating ring around the castle, and so the castle drops from the ceiling, crushes all the monsters, kills all those monsters. That does not work like that.
It doesn't. The game doesn't work that way. There was a bunch of... That's one instance, but there was a bunch of things just like that.
Yeah, so it's like... And then Yugi just wins because... What? Okay.
Yeah. Remember the first episode, how we were... First or second episode, we were like, this is weird. Like, do they know that he has an altered personality?
Yes.
Does he not? And then in the 13th episode, it's revealed that no, they didn't know. That Yugi didn't even know. Even though it was pretty much implied very early that, like, oh, look, Yugi's like, things taking over. Like, yeah. It's so weird.
Well, here's the thing. What they explained in that episode is when Yugi transformed, he was still him. You know what I mean?
I think the alter ego is just kind of influenced.
Yes. Him. And then when in that Bakura episode...
But he gets taller.
I'm not saying...
He's like a midget when he's just walking around.
Why?
And then he takes over and he's physically taller.
Why is there a 5-second transformation scene in every episode? I don't know. It's like, this show is ridiculous in a lot of ways. I'm not...
We didn't have a premise.
No. Go ahead, what's the premise?
We just went right into it. So you're in a world where there's a card game and, like, everyone plays it. Mm-hmm. Well, not everyone, but, like, anyone cool, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And, like, you have to train to be this because you have to learn all the different... how the game works, essentially. Right. How the monsters works, how the magic works, how the land card works, which I don't think they call land cards, the traps.
You know, the land card thing just...
Wasn't a thing in the game, right?
No, it just came out of nowhere. That's a Magic the Gathering thing.
But it's a thing in the show.
Yeah, apparently. I know.
It's weird.
Yeah. Apparently you could burn the land. Like, that's another thing that bothered me. We get to the island, right? And then they drop this, land thing that boosts the monsters. And then Yugi just happens to have a card that burns land when it was just implemented on the freaking...
Well, you haven't seen his whole deck, right? You've only seen, 6 cards.
Yeah, but how did he...
He's got a 52-card deck,
How did he know that there was going to be land things? Because it was just invented in this island.
Maybe it was already in his deck and he didn't use it yet.
Okay. It just seems like it was a...
it's very convenient.
Yes.
No, this show is one of the kings of... This is needed for this episode, so we have it.
Yes.
And you didn't know it before, but that's okay.
Did you finish the premise?
No. So, it's there's like a culture around card games, and Duel Monsters is like the big one. And, the premise is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels, and he has a Millennium Puzzle that has an alter ego inside it from Egypt that takes over and helps him duel. So apparently, this card game's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, they explained that actually in what we watched.
Yeah, I probably skipped that.
The game was created in ancient Egypt, and they battled in the Shadow Realms.
Gotcha. So the plot of the whole show is they're just adventures and things happen and they do things.
Well,
there's not really much more than that.
The overall plot is Pegasus stole Yugi's grandfather's soul.
Oh yeah,
and then he's going there to get his soul back.
I guess that's the main quest, right? Yeah. But eventually he gets it back.
Oh yeah, the goal is to become the best Duel Monsters champion, and like Joey is in the tournament, he like cheats his way in the tournament, but
he gets in. And then Yu-Gi-Oh helps him out, gives him a star.
Yes,
but before all that, Kaiba. Before the tournament, Kaiba steals. Does he steal it? The Blue Eyes White Dragon card.
Oh. No, he wins it off of Yugi's grandfather.
Oh, right. They duel, he wins it, and Yugi goes to beat him and get it back or whatever. And Kaiba rips it up. And, like, why would you rip it up? As far as we know, you didn't explicitly state that you could only have 3 of the same card in your deck.
Yeah, no.
But, like, he just didn't want anyone else to have that card. Well, you have it now.
Yeah.
Why are you ripping it?
And there's only 4 in existence, apparently.
So you can have 4 instead of 3. It didn't make any sense at all.
No.
But, so, something that's really funny, Yugi wins.
Yeah.
So, does he get anything for winning? It's not like he gets the card back.
No, he just wanted to put Kaiba in his place, essentially. And then he, uses his shadow power to, like, destroy the evil inside of Kaiba.
There was some sort of evil in him. Anyway, but Kaiba loses, and then, like, apparently he has a little brother, and his little brother's like talk to him or something. Like, this is a little later on, and Kaiba's like, I don't even know who I am anymore after losing. And he, like, all emo and runs away from home.
Well, it wasn't that. It was because Yugi destroyed the evil part of him, so now he's got to figure out who he is now. But just saying, that's what the plot is. Did you catch the part where Kaiba has to break into his own manor and hacks?
No.
It was in the episodes we watched.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm on my phone half the time.
When Yugi is battling the evil Kaiba,
okay,
it's like half the plot. Kaiba breaks into his house, goes onto his computer in the basement, and starts hacking it. He makes the blue eyes melt and stuff that Yugi's fighting and stuff. Well, in order to do all this, Kaiba crashes a Pegasus satellite into, like, one of the Pegasus company's headquarters. Literally crashes it. He's had to have killed dozens of people. I'm like, he just crashed a satellite into a building and destroyed a computer.
Yeah.
So, Kaiba is a murderer, just so you know.
You ever play, what's the Drake game on PlayStation?
The Drake game?
Yeah, they're like searching for buried treasure and shit. PlayStation 4, 5, 3.
I don't know.
Uncharted.
Oh, Nathan Drake. Okay.
Yeah, Uncharted. Somewhat similar. In the sense that you play the game and you murder hundreds of people every game. He's a mass murderer. He's just killing people left and right, but like it's never addressed. Kaiba killed those people, never addressed.
Right. I mean, but that's any video game, and
sort of, because like Halo Master Chief, that's what you're supposed to do. Nathan Drake is not supposed to be killing. He's just searching for treasure.
That's true, but it's not like he's killing them, going out and just killing them. This is a lot of times
it's self-defense.
They're shooting.
I get that, but like it's never addressed at all. He's never like seeking counseling for being this murderer.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. At the same time, it's like
he's somehow a well-adjusted human being after killing hundreds of people.
Same thing, like with.
I understand it's the same thing with a lot of things. It's just funny.
I'm just for a comparison. The same thing with Indiana Jones. How many people has he killed? I mean, that's just action star kind of quality. But this is a kid show. You know what I mean? And over a card game.
Oh no! Yeah.
The show actually. I watched an anime years ago. It was just subbed. It was called Saki. And it was similar to this, only it was around Mahjong. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I was like, I guess this must be a thing where you just get a game and everyone in that world just plays that game.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's a cool concept to think of a world that's like that, but it's just not realistic. Yeah, also, like, we were someone talking about while we were watching, it's like, if this existed in our world in the sense that everyone wanted to play it, and there were only a limited number of cards, of each card. Like, people wouldn't be using them to play games.
Yeah,
They'd be selling them and hoarding them. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not how the world actually works. It's kind of unfortunate. It would be a little cooler.
Yeah, I mean, they have them in glass cases. Probably sell them on eBay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, that fourth Blue Eyes White Dragon, Yugi's grandfather would have sold it, and he would have sold it for, like, $10 million.
Yeah, because he lives in this tiny, shitty game shop.
Yeah. Like, he just sold it immediately.
No, it was a gift from his best friend or some shit. I mean, Kaiba offered him any amount of money he wanted. He's like, no, we can't do it.
Kaiba's like 16.
Yeah.
Rich as fuck. Has the money to blow. Where are the parents? Who knows?
They're probably dead.
And then they go to the whole Pegasus arc. They go to the island. In order to get to be allowed entry into the castle, you have to get 10 stars. You start with 2. If you lose them, you're out.
Mm.
You can wager them each duel. Whatever.
You apparently wager cards, too.
Well, I think that's just like a side hustle.
I mean, that's allowed, though.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
I don't think Pegasus gives a
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Pegasus is evil.
And you know what's funny? The one girl, all she had to do was sleep with those guys. Done. She'd have her 10 stars.
Oh, my.
Done. You ain't gotta battle no one.
True. But, if you don't have to, why would you?
She's not.
Apparently she is. She's got 8 stars by the time we stop.
Yeah, but she even explicitly says it's because people underestimate her.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean she's good. It just means they think she's a pimp.
That's another thing about this show. Like, in one instance, Yugi will be like, I don't need skill. I trust in the heart of the cards. And then
everyone else needs skill.
Well, then the next episode or something, he'd be like, haha, you hide behind fear or whatever, and I use nothing but skill. I was like, you just told me you don't use skill. Yes.
The whole episode with her and Joey where she's like she's divining her cards. They're face down. She doesn't look at them when she picks them up. She just puts them face down on the table. And she divines which one to pick up and play immediately. And the whole thing is like, apparently she put perfume on each one so she can smell. That wouldn't work, for one.
Hold on.
What would work is putting defects in the cards, like little nicks in certain spots. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you do that? You had to use perfume because she's a girl?
Yeah.
It's sexist.
That's exactly what it was. Just like they have one female character in the group with Yugi. So, she's...
there's no black.
I'm
sure there's someone later on.
It's Japan,
Alright. Anything else?
We complained a lot about the show, but
we're also doing it with smiles.
Yes.
Because it is nostalgia.
Yeah, it's nostalgia, and it's...
If I had to rate it for today, would I want to watch it fresh right now, I wouldn't have made it 13 episodes.
No. If it was a first view, it'd be like, what the is this?
It would have been terrible.
But because we have
it would have been a 3 or a 4.
But because we have...
nostalgia, and we can also appreciate when something comes out. Like, we did the same thing with Lupin. It was ahead of its time.
There's also the fact that we have a love for the actual card game itself.
Yeah.
So it's
a biased review. Yeah, I would say if I were to objectively rate it right now, it would be a 3 or a 4. But you know what? I'm subjective. Yeah. It's a 6 or 7.
I actually don't think it's a bad anime, even objectively. I think it's a 5.
It's for its target audience, for kids.
I would say for the kids,
it doesn't get too evil. You know what I mean?
I think for kids, it's actually a higher score.
I think so. Yeah.
So, but like for us, objectively looking at it, I mean, there's nothing terrible in it that made me not.
It's just slow.
Yeah, it's just slow.
It wasn't for how slow it was. If they had condensed it to where there was 2 battles an episode or something.
Yeah. But that's like I said. But because of that, I just think it's an average anime for us. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm at a 5 objectively. Subjectively, I'll say I'm probably at a 6.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right.
Next episode is TJ's pick, and it is the last letter of this category.
Yes. And then, ironically, then I was going to say ironically enough, but it's not ironic. But funny enough, after this, we go back into our picks.
But it's only 2.
But it's anywhere in the thing. But still, it's funny that, Anyway, we're on Z. We covered about half the stuff in here. I was leaning towards Zoids, but every one of them has over 26 episodes. And I was like, I don't really want to cover that many episodes.
Whatever you want.
So I actually looked at Zombieland Saga, and it doesn't look great, but the one tag made me interested. The music tag.
Oh my god.
The music tag actually made me look interested.
The cover art.
I know, it looks bad.
It looks like a 90s or maybe even late 80s pop idol.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that music tag and then zombies, I was like, how is this going to work? So it made me curious enough. I think this is what we're going to cover.
Are you serious?
Yep, for 12 episodes. God. It's the shortest anime in there.
A typical morning. The usual music, their normal lives. The peace these 7 girls experience will suddenly be destroyed by the living dead. Oh, right. I forgot the name of it. Zombies. A reality that they never wanted a part of. An amazing and terrifying zombie world. They all share one wish. We want to live. These girls will struggle through this saga, in order to achieve a miracle. There's a sequel to this. Zombieland Saga is the one we got, 12 episodes. But Zombieland Saga Revenge. Oh, that can't, is it?
That looks similar, yeah.
It's completely different art style.
Maybe
but comedy, music, well, this is Supernatural. I think the other one had a different tag, but still.
I think it is. I think it's just...
Idol Unit? Yeah, I think this is a straight-up sequel. Just decided that, all right, we're going to hire different artists.
So, this is either going to be really bad or really good.
No, it's comedy, music, Supernatural for both of them. Yeah, I agree. It's either going to be terrible or really bad or really good.
Yeah.
I think it's probably... I mean, this is my prediction. It's going to border on really good, but because it's ridiculous.
Yes. It might be closer to High School of the Dead. So, but we'll see. It doesn't look like it's Ichi, so that's fine.
We'll see. It's not tagged, which is a plus.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd be better if it was.
All right.
See you guys next episode, Zombieland Saga.
Bye.